My photos made someone else famous. But exposing the truth might destroy my first love, my friendship, and the only family I have left. Lucy Roth liked cameras because cameras never ask questions. They didn't judge you if you were awkward or quiet, or the kind of girl who spent lunch hiding near the bleachers instead of sitting at the loud tables in the cafeteria. Cameras just watched the world with you. On a cool Friday afternoon, Lucy stood near the football field fence while the marching band practiced behind her.
Oh, the stadium lights glowed.
Even though the game wouldn't start for hours. She lifted her camera and snapped a photo of two freshmen laughing while trying to toss a football. Click reel moments. That's what Lucy loved most. Her phone buzzed. Taylor, did you seriously ditch lunch again? Lucy smiled and typed back. Lucy, art requires sacrifice. Taylor, you photographing hot dogs again? Lucy, emotional support hot dogs. Lucy lowered the phone just as someone bumped into her shoulder in the crowded hallway behind the field entrance.
What if, well, so, word, well, read, well, whip, way, oh, well, do, well, do, well, oh, do, well, outside with us, the zone, and well, so, also, send some to the so, also, well, so,
Her camera nearly slipped from her hands, but she caught it just in time. When she looked up, a tall guy with messy dark hair and glasses was staring at her like she had just dropped a live grenade. You okay? He asked. Lucy blinked. Eli Bellinger, editor of the school newspaper. Strata genius. Third most handsome guy according to the unofficial gossip rankings that circulated every semester. Lucy's brain immediately forgot how English worked. Yeah, totally. I mean, camera survived. I survived. Everyone survived. Eli nodded slowly like he was evaluating a science experiment. Your photos, he said simply. I've seen them. Lucy froze. You have? They're really good, Eli said, adjusting his backpack strap. Actually, that's why I was looking for you. Lucy glanced behind her, half expecting him to mean another Lucy. Me? Yeah, Lucy with a C, right? She laughed nervously. Yeah, some people think it's with an S. One guy thought it was with a Q, Eli said. Lucy blinked. That's actually happened to me. Eli grinned slightly. I'm the editor for the school paper. We're working on a new story, and we need a photographer. Lucy stared at him like he'd just invited her to pilot a spaceship. I'm more of a background person. Perfect, Eli said. Photographers literally stand in the background. Lucy opened her mouth, but the bell rang, and the hallway exploded with movement. Think about it, Eli said, already stepping away. Your photos deserve to be seen. Then he disappeared into the crowd. Lucy stood there, frozen. Her heart was doing something weird. That night, Lucy sat cross-legged on the air mattress in Taylor's apartment, editing photos on her laptop while Regina cooked pancakes in the tiny kitchen. Oh, you're going to win that contest, Taylor said confidently, while scrolling through Lucy's photos. Lucy snorted. It's a national contest. So people actually have talent. Taylor rolled her eyes. You literally turned a picture of a broken vending machine into art. Regina leaned over Lucy's shoulder and smiled softly. You capture truth, she said. That's rarer than talent. Lucy looked down at the photo on her screen. A couple sitting quietly in the football bleachers after a game, at stadium lights glowing behind them. Real? She submitted the photos that night. 3 days later, Lucy nearly dropped her phone in the hallway. Floral's website was open on her screen. Her photos were everywhere. Front page, huge banner, her chest filled with electricity. I won. Then she saw the name underneath, Fiona Hart. Lucy felt like the floor disappeared. Someone had taken her photos. The hallway noise faded around her. Later that day, she walked into school feeling like a ghost. Lockers slammed. People laughed. Football players argued about weekend plans. Normal life. Except Lucy's chest felt hollow. "Lucy," she looked up. Eli stood there again. "I saw your photos online," he said. "They're incredible." Lucy laughed weakly. "They're not mine anymore." "What?" And just like that, the entire story spilled out of her. The contest, the stolen credit, Fiona Hart. Eli's expression slowly shifted from curiosity to outrage. "That's insane," he said. Lucy shrugged helplessly. "She's the CEO's niece." "What am I supposed to do?" Eli pushed his glasses up. "Expose it." Lucy blinked. "What?" "I'm a journalist," he said. "This is literally the kind of story we look for." Lucy stared at him. "You're serious?" "Completely." Later that evening, they sat across from each other at Lucy's favorite pizza place. A basket of garlic knots sat between them like a peace treaty. Lucy had never talked this much with anyone outside Taylor. Eli listened to everything. It's about Regina's illness, about the contest money, about Lucy's dream of becoming a real photographer someday. "My dad says art is useless," Lucy admitted quietly. Eli leaned back in his chair. "My dad once invested our college savings into a guy who promised to invent self-toasting bread." Lucy blinked. "Isn't that just a toaster?" "Exactly." Lucy laughed so hard she nearly snorted. For the first time in weeks, the weight on her chest lifted. Over the next few days, they worked on the article together, passing notes in algebra, texting ideas during study hall. Eli corrected her grammar once. Lucy drew a sad noodle next to his correction. He kept the note. For a moment, life actually felt hopeful, until the day Eli showed up at Lucy's house. His eyes widened as he stared at the massive marble staircase. "You live here?" Lucy panicked. "Technically yes, but emotionally no." Before she could explain, she tripped while carrying orange juice and spilled it across the antique rug. Eli watched silently. "I'm a journalist," he said quietly. Lucy's stomach dropped. "I know a lie when I see one." The next morning, the school newspaper came out. No article, no investigation, no Eli. Lucy searched the entire campus. Nothing. That night, she opened her laptop at Taylor's apartment. An email waited in her inbox. From Fiona. Lucy's stomach twisted. She clicked it. A photo filled the screen. Fiona, standing close to Eli, her arm wrapped around him. Lucy's chest felt like it cracked in half. She slammed the laptop shut, grabbed her jacket, and stormed out the door. 20 minutes later, she stood outside Eli's house. His old car pulled into the driveway. Lucy marched forward. "Care to explain where you were?" she demanded. Eli looked tired. "I had an interview." Lucy shoved her phone toward him. "Then what's this?" He glanced at the photo. "So what?"
I
can't interview someone." Lucy felt something break inside her. "Eli, she stole my work, and you lied to me," he shot back. "About who you are." Lucy stared at him, stunned. "You think I'm spoiled?" Eli didn't answer. Lucy laughed bitterly. "You know what? I don't even have my dad's car to drive home right now." She turned away before he could see the tears in her eyes. Behind her, Eli said nothing. Lucy walked into the dark street alone, realizing she might have just lost the only person who ever believed her. Lucy didn't look back as she walked down the quiet street. The cold evening air stung her cheeks, but she couldn't tell if it was the wind or the tears she refused to wipe away. Behind her, Eli's porch light flickered on. For a second, she thought he might run after her. He didn't. By the time Lucy reached Taylor and Regina's apartment, the familiar smell of microwavable mac and cheese filled the tiny kitchen. Regina was sitting at the table with a blanket around her shoulders while Taylor stirred something in a pot that looked questionably edible. Taylor looked up immediately. "Okay, before you say anything, I want you to know this mac and cheese is experimental." Lucy dropped her backpack by the couch and forced a small smile. It's terrifying." Regina studied Lucy's face carefully. "Honey, what happened?" Lucy shrugged and sank into the chair across from her. "It's just high school drama. You know, betrayal, emotional destruction, usual Tuesday." Taylor turned off the stove and slid a bowl in front of Lucy. "Eat first, spiral later." Lucy picked up the fork but barely touched the food. Her phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. She ignored it. It buzzed again. Taylor raised an eyebrow. Secret admirer? Lucy flipped the phone over. More like secret headache. But the buzzing didn't stop. Finally, Lucy groaned and answered. What? Wow, Eli's voice said on the other end. So this is the warm customer service I've heard about? Lucy stood up immediately and walked into the hallway. What do you want? I want to fix this. You already fixed it, Lucy snapped. You chose Fiona. There was a pause. Lucy, Eli said slowly. If I chose Fiona, why would I be calling you? Lucy hesitated. I went to interview her, Eli continued. For evidence? Lucy frowned. What evidence? Can you meet me tomorrow? He asked. Behind the school library? After last period? Lucy crossed her arms. You kidnapped my trust already. Why would I meet you? There was a rustling sound on his end. 'Cause Eli said, I'm bringing garlic knots. Lucy stared at the phone. You're manipulative. Effective, though. Lucy hung up before he could hear the tiny smile sneaking onto her face. The next day, Lucy tried to ignore the butterflies in her stomach as she walked behind the library. Eli was already there. Leaning against the brick wall with a crumpled paper bag. Peace offering, he said, holding it up. Lucy eyed it suspiciously. Those better be garlic knots. Fresh from Luigi's. Lucy grabbed one before she could stop herself. Okay, she said with her mouth full. Talk. Eli pulled out his laptop and opened a photo. Lucy groaned immediately. Oh, great. The Fiona cuddle picture. Love that for me. Look closer, Eli said. He zoomed in. Lucy squinted at the background. A computer screen sat behind Fiona in the photo. Her email inbox. Eli zoomed further. Lucy leaned closer. Then she saw it. An email from Floral's CEO. Subject line, Be Real contest winner. Lucy Roth dated 2 days before Fiona was announced. Lucy's jaw slowly dropped. You got this from that interview? Eli nodded. She was bragging and didn't realize what was behind her. Lucy stared at the screen. Disbelief turning into something warmer. Hope, Eli, she whispered. This proves everything. Almost everything, he said. But a screenshot alone isn't enough. Lucy frowned. So what do we do? Eli's eyes lit up. We catch her live 2 days later. Lucy stood inside the fanciest hotel she had ever seen. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead while influencers and reporters filled the ballroom. On stage, a giant screen displayed Lucy's stolen photographs. Fiona stood at the podium like she owned the world. Lucy tugged nervously at her sleeve. I hate this plan. Eli handed her a press badge. You'll be fine. I take pictures of people, Lucy whispered. I don't talk to rooms full of them. Eli smiled gently. You're not the shy girl hiding behind a camera anymore. Lucy looked up at the stage. Fiona was explaining one of Lucy's photos, and in this shot, Fiona said dramatically, I wanted to capture solitude, a moment of inner peace. Lucy's hands clenched. People clapped. Eli leaned closer. Whenever you're ready. Lucy swallowed hard. Then she stood up. I have a question. The room turned toward her. Fiona froze when she saw Lucy, but her fake smile returned instantly. Oh, she said sweetly. My biggest fan. Lucy walked toward the stage. Her heart pounded so loudly she was sure the microphones could hear it. You talk a lot about honesty, Lucy said. So I'm curious. Why does your email say I won the contest? The crowd murmured. Fiona laughed nervously.
Excuse me.
Eli pressed a button. The giant screen behind Fiona flickered. Then the email appeared. Be Real contest winner Lucy Roth. Gasps filled the ballroom. Fiona turned around slowly. Her face drained of color. That's fake, she said quickly. Security stop, she suddenly whispered. The entire room went silent. Fiona's shoulders shook slightly. Then she laughed weakly. Fine, she said, as I stole the photos. The crowd erupted in whispers. Fiona wiped her eyes. I just wanted my dad to notice me for once, she admitted quietly. She pulled the contest trophy off the podium and shoved it into Lucy's hands. You deserve it. Then she ran off stage. Reporters rushed forward. Cameras flashed. Lucy stood frozen, clutching the trophy. Eli appeared beside her. You did it, he said. Lucy looked at him. We did it. The next week everything changed. The story went viral. Floral doubled the prize money to save their reputation. It was enough to pay for Regina's surgery. One evening, Lucy walked into her father's office to grab a book. She stopped in the doorway. One of her photos sat framed on his desk. Her dad looked up awkwardly. "That one," he said gruffly. "That's yours, right?" Lucy nodded slowly. He cleared his throat. "Your mom used to see the world like that." He didn't say anything else, but he didn't remove the photo either. A few days later, Lucy walked through the school hallway. Students whispered as she passed. But this time she didn't shrink away. Eli caught up beside her. "Shh." So he said casually, "Bernbark Journalism Institute just emailed me." Lucy raised an eyebrow. "Oh, they're offering scholarships?" Lucy smiled. "For writers." Eli nudged her shoulder. "Shh. And photographers." Lucy looked ahead at the crowded hallway. For the first time, she didn't feel invisible. "So," Eli said, "partners." Lucy pretended to think about it. "Only if you keep bringing garlic knots." He laughed. Together they walked forward into whatever came next.